Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing a dark academia bully romance series known for its smutty content and often billed as a Harry Potter for adults. That's right, grab your Stardust, we're headed to Solaria.
Welcome to Zodiac Academy. Note to students, vampire bites, loss of limbs, or getting lost in the Wailing Woods will not count as a valid excuse for being late to class or this podcast.
In today's episode, we're discussing Book 7, Heartless Sky, chapters 31 through 40. Where a murder suspect is apprehended, Lionel and his shadow bitch get hitched, Geraldine steals an eye, well, more like rips it out, Darius kills his brother, and Caleb and Seth finally declare their love for each other. Sort of.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Zodiac Academy World books, including the Ruthless Boys and Darkmoor Penitentiary series. We might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the books, this podcast is rated R.
There is a trigger warning for this episode, so if you are sensitive about sexual assault or anything like that,
be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So last we left off, after the gang closed the Shadow Rift, Darcy's curse kicked in right as Lavinia shows up, causing the group to leave and abandon Tori to Mommy Dearest's vision quest. Thankfully, they are reunited, and Gabriel sends Darcy and Orion to visit the Library of the Lost, where they find a potential solution for the shadow curse that plagues them. Now we find Tori and Darius having yet another moment after their run. And at this point, I'm over it. I'm over the excessive sex scenes. I'm over Darius's attitude. I mean, I know we've talked about it a lot, but just gag at this point. I'm over it. I'm over him not telling the truth. I just want it to be over.
Yeah, that was my thing. He'll bow down for sex. He talks about, I call that worshiping my goddess.
Okay, for real.
But yet you don't respect her as queen. Come on now.
And this is what I meant, I think, last episode, where I was like, Darius to me has few super redeeming qualities. Sometimes I'm like, okay, he's an interesting character and he's fun in the book, but as a person, I think I'd probably hate him.
Yeah, he's really selfish. Everything he talks about and does is selfish.
Yeah. I mean, I like his dynamic with Tori, but it is getting a little old.
I'm honestly ready to see more of other people's relationships, like Max and Geraldine, Caleb and Seth, or literally anybody else, with the exception of Lionel and Washer.
Or Washer.
I don't like Washer at all.
You know who he mirrors to me just a little bit, and don't get angry. Not totally.
Okay.
Not totally, but
Washer?
No, Darius.
Oh, Darius. Okay.
Sometimes, like a vibe. But Tamlin.
You did not just speak that into this podcast. Oh my God, the
just
forbidden
a vibe.
name.
Just a vibe.
He must not be named.
Not totally.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, he does lose his shit when Tori goes off to learn about herself.
It is very overprotective, like annoying boyfriend.
I think the vibe is more from kind of like Brittany was saying, that everything seems to be filtered through how it affects him.
Yeah. Yikes.
So, yeah.
Big yikes. Oh, what a thought. I don't think that's going to go out of my brain.
Darius being Tamlin. Ugh.
And I feel like it fits really well even for the self-sacrifice later. I think Tamlin even would do that. It's just, would he ever let her rule?
No, not at all.
Right.
Yikes. Ooh, I hate that so much.
Christy.
Thanks, Christy.
Christy, you might find some enemies on the internet if we post that.
No, I'm excited. I want to hear the discourse. I want everyone's opinions.
All right. Well, thankfully, before things get too hot and heavy, they're interrupted by the screams of someone dying and
Oh, yes.
some
Oh, no.
beastly howls.
Oh no, Darcy killed someone else.
Do you think it's Darcy still?
Yes, I do. It's Darcy. She's
I was
full
wondering.
from eating her snack.
I don't know. I was convinced that it was Darcy until this section. I'm kind of wondering now.
Yeah.
She takes off. She's fast. She gets in there. She jumps under the covers.
Without disturbing Orion or Seth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, absolutely. It's shadowy, remember?
Yeah.
Not to mention
I'm
that there
telling
was
you.
a lock on the door.
It just
Again,
seems like
shadowy.
it can't work out.
Whenever I was listening to it and it said she was full from dinner, I immediately was like, Christy's going to be like, she's full because she ate that woman.
I was like, see?
And then I went to the notes and it was there and I was like, yes, I called
You were
that.
like, I knew she would say that. And that's beautiful.
But yeah,
Oh,
they
yes.
did say
Oh,
they
yes.
saw something big and hairy.
Yeah. And honestly, what really threw me for a loop was that they went on a chase after this thing and they ended up at Joseph.
I have an explanation for that. I like the Jeremy, though. Jeremy was my favorite.
Yeah, that was my favorite too.
First, is it me or is Washer a mean girl? He's like the most passive-aggressive frenemy ever. The whole, how does it make you feel that all these people followed you and now they're getting murdered and there's nothing you can do? Do you want to talk about it with me? Like, way to stab a knife in my back.
It's
Mean girl.
yeah, it's a little gross. I don't know. He's very like I expect it from
I
him.
don't know. Yeah. Yeah. For Washer, it's a little bit, to me, I don't know if he's mean girl as much as he is like a poke and suck. So he's
Yes.
like poking him, trying to get him to feel something so he can suck up
Yes.
the emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like it's more like that, you know?
it's gross,
Probably,
actually.
yeah. It is really gross. But, all right, so as everyone else is hunting down the murderer, Gabriel, Stardust, the twins to the Palace of Flames. This is a place where the phoenixes used to reign, and they're supposed to stay there for potentially a year to train and learn about the phoenixes.
I think this is a weird move because I feel like as readers, I'd rather see. Are we going to see any of that? Because for them to be training for months, which first of all, I understand Darius's anger because like months and then you're not going to tell anyone, and also you warned nobody.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then the readers don't get to read it.
The next chapter, we will see some of it, but
It
it's
just
4
is
months
weird.
in.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it feels like a couple kind of holes. That was my other question, or one of my questions too, was, and am I missing something? Because it feels like it's a Pegasus doll size hole that they keep talking about stardust. But isn't Darius a dragon? The dragons create the stardust, so how come Darius can't give them tons of stardust?
That is never
I was
explained.
wondering that too.
I'm assuming this because it is never addressed. It is, and it's frustrating that it's never addressed. I had the same thoughts when I first read this, but I'm assuming that Darius just doesn't know how to call a meteor down from the sky. Because that's what Lionel did, was he called a meteor down and then just burned it. So
That is kind of intense.
yeah.
Well, I feel like he shouldn't be able to be king now. If you don't know how to call a meteor down,
Yeah.
then you are no longer worthy to be king.
You can't do your
Definitely.
powers.
As
I
a
mean,
dragon.
to be fair, the twins don't know how to use their phoenix powers fully either.
We're not talking about the twins though.
Exactly. Darius has had full training, right?
Yeah,
He
exactly.
has been fully trained to be king. But you can't create stardust, little prince, can you?
Actually, pretty unprepared, if you ask me.
Right? Exactly. Failing grade, mister.
Yeah. Unimpressed.
Do you think that they'll be there for a year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be there for a year. I'm a little confused about the timeline because later it's implied that it's already been months. As you said, we're going to be like a few months in when we hear from them. And that confuses me because we were just at Christmas. And then now, where are we?
At the beginning of this section, Darius says that her birthday is in 1 week, her 20th birthday. That's in June.
Right, because they're Geminis.
So,
or late May. But we know it's June 11th.
Yeah, so June-ish, July-ish.
I don't understand. Where did the time go?
It's them sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah.
Swimming in the pool.
I was also shocked that he was like, we should just have babies. And I was like, first of all, that's taking it to a level that you're not at. Second of all,
he's gonna die.
Having babies?
He thinks he's gonna die. He wants to leave her with a piece of himself.
An heir?
Typical man. Yeah, we'll just have a baby and then I'll leave you with it.
I don't have to change the diapers or anything else. No late nights.
Oh my God. What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was dying. I was like, Darius is wanting to have a baby? Okay, we need to have this talk. You just like sprung that on her.
Well, she brought it up.
Yeah, it's just wild though.
Y'all don't think that they're going to have kids if they survive?
If they do.
Eventually.
If they do, I feel like it's going to be farther down the road. I don't think they're going to be like going at it immediately to have a baby.
You don't think Tori would be Mama of the Year?
I'm not saying she would be a bad mom. I'm saying she likes her freedom.
Actually, so I guess we assume that Lavinia is going to keep popping out shadow babies. But maybe Tori has a baby, and that baby fights the shadow baby.
Oh my gosh. So,
moving on. I mean,
baby smackdown.
Clearly, Lavinia
WWE
have
baby style.
Accelerated growth.
It did, because it crawled out of her and then became Slenderman.
Yeah. So Tori and Darcy enter the Palace of Flames and meet their ancestor Avalon Vega, who is the Phoenix Queen who banished Lavinia. What did y'all think of her?
I had the same feelings, Christy. Blech.
Yeah. Mine was pretty much like, congrats for not thinking your curse all the way through, you dumbass. Like, yeah, I did not like her very much.
I
She
didn't
seemed
like her
a
either.
ginormous douche. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I guess she's from the before times, so I guess her feelings are ancient, just like our ancestors had some backward thinking. But she just didn't seem to be, I don't know. She wasn't super impressive to me. I was like, okay, girl.
No, I'm hoping that whole keep the broken promise means that the Imperial Star is telling them to snuff her out.
Oh my God.
So,
Do you think it has anything to do with her? Maybe she made the promise that was broken?
Why would we think that, Brittany?
Because they said it in the Palace of Flames. And the star kept going, go to the Palace of Flames.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the promise.
But then when
no. I think it was go to the Palace of Flames and see how not to do this.
as soon as they step in there, they hear, keep the broken promise. That's why I brought it up.
Snuff her
I
out,
see.
I'm telling you.
Snuff her out. I didn't like that she was like, well, you're obviously going to have to fight each other to the death.
Yeah.
Obviously not to the death, but...
I defeated my brother. It's fine. Power is more
she's horrible.
acceptable than family.
But also...
Well, then she acts like they're stupid.
Yeah. And Darcy and Tori have a different relationship than you and your brother.
Yeah. I feel like it was more
perhaps.
naive.
Well, not just that,
than
but it's
stupid
like,
and-
perhaps that's why it got fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I agree. But yeah, she was meh.
Yeah. I just felt like acted like she was the big bad or something like that. And in reality, she's the one that fucked it up. So maybe doing it different than she did is going to be the best course of action.
Yeah.
Well, Justin. On the
Jeremy,
hunt,
Joseph,
on the
Jared.
hunt for the killer, the gang comes across who else but potential ass plant Justin Masters, covered in blood. I'm guessing y'all are split on whether you think Justin actually did it or no.
It seems too easy. It can't be him. I don't know. I'm really torn on whether it's Darcy because it makes more sense for it to be Darcy. But Justin has been weird. So I really don't know. And it seems like too obvious to just show up and he's got blood on him and yeah.
So at first I was like, he's a red herring. And then I was like, no, wait a minute. I do still believe he's an ass plant. I don't think he's the beast. I don't think he's the one that did it. But I think his ass plantness comes in at the fact that he is the one maybe that is triggering Darcy. And that maybe he was there and that's how he got blood on him. But I think Darcy is still the one that's the actual beast. But maybe he's kind of like a hound of the Baskervilles kind of controlling.
Interesting. I could see it being like that, Christy. That'd be interesting. I did think it was funny when Geraldine was beating the shit out of him.
What was it, a fish or a turnip or something?
I can't remember. Yeah, that was funny.
And I never really liked him, or I didn't trust him. There's something wrong with him.
Mm-hmm. She was so ready to throw him under the bus. She was like, yeah, it was definitely him. We need to have a real trial, but Joseph, if you ever fuck shit up again.
Jacob, Jeremy, Joseph.
That's one of the funniest running gags with Darius because he did the same thing to Diego. And it is such a microaggression and it also fits his character so well. So funny.
I love that he doesn't even bother to, I used a different name before. He doesn't even remember what name he used before. It's just...
He can't be bothered.
And Justin didn't bother to be like, my name is Justin, actually.
Yeah.
Although,
he's cowering.
I'm glad that Geraldine slapped him with that fish or turnip or whatever because of what he said to Orion.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm angry again. Yeah, fuck Jeremy.
Damn it, Joseph. Well,
least favorite character.
Do you think that they'll actually do something with Justin if he turns out to not be the killer or an ass plant or anything? Or
by do something, do you think what do you mean?
Right now, he's just a dumb character that has no purpose.
Yeah. I do think that he has something going on. It might not be nefarious, but he's got something going on. They keep bringing him up.
He's all sorts of nefarious. Dumb nefarious, but he is nefarious. I guarantee you.
He's being controlled by somebody. Darcy.
Darcy? No, I think it's the other way. He's got a special whistle or something that turns her into the beast.
A special whistle?
I will say this. We will get a chapter of his point of view at some point.
Interesting.
Scary.
But we also have point of views from Lionel, so
yeah.
Is it blank?
Can't be worse than that.
Is it blank?
Is it blank? Nothing going on up in there.
Oh. When Darius and Orion find out that the girls are gone, Darius has his little meltdown and
tantrum.
I will give him this. He made a deal with the stars to have a year with her.
Yeah.
And then they took her away from him on purpose.
Yeah, pretty shitty.
I feel like that's a deal made in bad faith.
That's a good point, actually. That's actually a fair point. They promised him a year. I don't know.
And they can't claim they didn't know it was going to happen. They're the fucking stars.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Not fair to
I'm pretty sure the rules don't apply to the stars, though.
Of course. They can make up... Well, because they know he's going to survive, so they're like, it really doesn't matter.
Avalon was kind of shifty about what happened to the Phoenixes. Y'all got any theories about why and what happened to them?
I didn't think about it at the time, but it was kind of shifty.
Maybe that's the broken promise. She killed all the Phoenixes. I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
Could she have killed them with what she did with the nymphs? Maybe the nymphs went after all the Phoenixes first?
But why wouldn't she tell that to Tori and Darcy? That would just turn them against the nymphs.
What if the Phoenixes died out because... I don't know. What if the Phoenixes died out because she was their leader? I don't know.
Did she give too much power when she did her little, major fuck up? Did she use too much of her power and she couldn't pass it on? I don't know. Could she have given away too much of her power when she did whatever, the fuck up that she did with the nymphs? Could she have put out so much power that she ended up killing off the line. I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah,
she
that's
made
kinda
a
stupid.
deal with the stars.
She used the Imperial Star to kick them out.
Maybe the stars gave her an ultimatum and she chose to do whatever she wanted. Then maybe that's the broken promise.
That's good.
Maybe she made a promise to fix things or to do things a certain way and she broke the promise and that's why the Phoenixes are gone.
These are all good theories. Okay, back to Darius and his little temper tantrum. They go after Gabriel, who is currently busy.
Yeah.
And they end up going on a mission with Leon instead.
What kills me is that Leon is standing at the door like a bodyguard. Like, you can't go in there.
I'm sure Gabriel was like, they're going to come after me and they're going to interrupt. And, you know, he's one of the sister wives, brother, husbands, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it just made me think, do they all do that for each other or do they fight over her?
A little bit of both, actually.
That tracks.
They make sure she's happy,
That
but
makes sense.
also they'd rather it be them.
I loved Leon so much.
Yeah, this is
He was a blast.
our first real glimpse of Leon. We met his brother in Darkmoor, but this is the first time he's introduced to us in Zodiac Academy.
Yeah. He's like, I have a secret quest for us by Gabriel. The narrators for the audiobook just do it really well. They're so goofy with it.
To me, it's always funny because when I was reading Ruthless Boys, I was like, oh, Leon is totally the Seth of this series.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And they get along well because of it.
It's funny too because I think Gabriel is probably Orion,
Yeah.
most of all, and then Ryder is probably Darius,
Okay.
and Dante is probably Caleb. I don't know if they have
Oh.
a max of that series.
Oh, what a shame. Wow. Okay.
What did y'all think about the mission that they went on?
It was fun. It reminded me a little bit of that scene in Lord of the Rings where they run into the giant spider. Every time I see a giant spider, I think of that, though. Can't help it. The second you see a giant web, that should be a no-no. Like, no, turn back around.
Yeah. Seth taking the cowboy hat.
I could just picture in my mind's eye Caleb looking at him so fondly with that damn cowboy hat. I could see it in my brain. I love them so much. What?
I mean, let's just say that Seth is gonna wear that hat.
Cowboy hat's coming back. I knew it. I knew it. I am ready. I am so fucking ready. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, that scene is hilarious.
I knew it. I knew it. When we were reading it, I was like, he is enjoying this. I'm ready. Is
Weird.
it this book or is it next book?
Next section.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure next section, but you know.
So just the hat?
I can't say anything without spoiling shit.
Love that. For us, mostly.
Oh, God. What did y'all think about the price Leon wanted Lance to pay?
Wait. You can't skip over Chip Chop Pube.
That was before they went on the mission, though. Yeah,
we haven't talked about it.
that conversation before they go and get Caleb and Seth. Or, well, Seth is there, but they go get Caleb, and
You've never heard of Chip Chop Pube?
Leon and Seth hit it off.
They are one and the same.
They are.
And then, okay, why was there a random guy at the end of the chapter who was a Chip Chop Pube champion?
It's Alestria. Because it's Alestria, that's why.
This whole chapter was a fever dream.
But, okay, so Chip Chop Pube. It's hanging off your pubes, correct? That's what the game is, correct?
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
wrap utensils and have them hang.
And have them hang. So
Yeah.
Where does the chop come in for the game?
Well, if they're too heavy, maybe your pubes get chopped.
Just okay.
I don't ask questions. I just read the book.
Oh, no.
I thought it was hilarious that Caleb and Orion stood there and were like, so you do this and you put utensils in your pubes with your dick hanging out? Like,
and they were
dick
like,
hanging out was the weird thing.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Not that there's shit hanging from your nether regions.
Also, I gotta say, I don't know what it is about. It must be like P words, but the word pubes gives
I
me
hate
the
that
creeps.
word.
I hate it.
Oh, I despise that word as well, but unfortunately it is the name of the game. I was like, cutlery?
Yeah.
Anyways, I felt like we couldn't jump over that. I'm sorry.
I love that Leon was like, yeah, I couldn't put a spoon down there for a week. Like, why are you putting a spoon down there? Oh, why?
What were you doing down there? Dude, whenever Orion was talking about Washer and he was like, he ground himself all over me, and I was so disgusted my fangs wouldn't extend for a week.
Fang fear.
You got fang fear?
He had erectile dysfunction of the fangs.
Yes, he did. That's trauma. That's trauma,
That's
babe.
trauma. Especially when you need those to eat and get power. So,
Yeah, not good.
Washer is
Okay.
traumatic.
Thank you for indulging me.
You're good. What did you think of the price that Leon wanted for the stone?
You have to tell me a secret about Gabriel, and it's a very specific secret, or give me your very specific, rare fucking trading card.
Although Orion was a really good friend, he was like, I can't tell you, I promised.
No, he was good. That's why Orion's the best. But I was like, this is such a boy passage. This is such a boy thing to read.
Oh, yeah. And
Not man.
I love that.
Boy.
I love that whenever they were walking through the sewer and they fell in the water, they're like, infection. They're like, no, the shit river's won over. We're in the clean water.
I'm telling you, this chapter was a fever dream. I could just imagine there's a scene where Caleb gets out and shakes it off, and I was like, Caleb is literally like a cat. He got out and shook his leg off like a cat. It's perfect. It's the golden retriever and black cat duo for Seth and Caleb.
It's perfect. Right.
But they're so cute.
So when they get back with the stone, there's a little cuddle puddle in Orion's room. And Orion and Darius use Diego's hat once again. Why? I'm not sure. He just randomly pulls it out, much like Seth, and
he's
his
like, why
naked
not?
butt. And one of our missing nymphs reappears with some information for our professor.
Out of nowhere. I was like, damn, Drusilla was enslaving that man, which we did kind of guess that, but it is still sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was like, I didn't even really get to know my son.
Yeah.
And now he's dead.
Really sad.
So here is where they learn that Vard's eye is the way that they can see the rifts as well. And so they plan to steal it.
Did you see
I
what
like
I
how
posted?
you so pleasantly put that, steal it, not scoop it out.
Did you see what I put in my notes?
I'm gonna get that eye.
The Rocket Raccoon meme. I'm gonna get that eye. I just immediately thought of the raccoon man.
And we do also learn that Miguel is potentially a supporter of the queens.
Yep. He said, long live the true queens, as he pieced the fuck out. All right, Miguel.
Wow, so Miguel is at a place that Darius can't get to.
Damn. Fuck him up, Christy. Fuck him up. Ooh, cooked, roasted.
All right, so major trigger warning here. We'll be discussing a rape scene in this chapter, which we probably won't spend too much time on, hopefully. But if you would like to skip ahead, please do so. Before we get there, I do find out that Lionel did actually kill his brother. He was the spare heir.
I had forgotten until we reread it again. I was surprised again, all over. It's
I had
very Lion King again.
I had this thought, like Lionel attacked Radcliffe in his sleep, so someone should call Tairn, because I'm pretty sure that Tairn would be bigger than Lionel, because Lionel's just a green dragon. And, you know, even though the greens are intelligent, he's not really showing that much intelligence. But anyway, but also, would that make Darius a youngling since he's golden?
Oh, that'd be cute. He's not fully grown.
He does say that the
Not ready
last
for the
time
throne.
Lance measured him, he was 6 feet bigger. So
And he's still growing.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
I love for that scene Radcliffe's dying words that he was still like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right.
Lame
So
Lionel. You'll
And it
always
is-
be lame Lionel.
And he was right that it's super unfair of him to kill him in his sleep.
Yeah.
And unwanted. Do they ever end up going over that part of it, Brittany?
I mean, Xavier was unwanted in Lionel's eyes because he was the spare. I'm assuming that's what he meant.
Okay, that would make sense.
We'll get some more of Lionel's past coming up, so yay.
Oh boy.
We do learn that Lionel forced Stella into marrying Azrael. It was like an arranged marriage so that
Yeah, it's
he
sad.
could use Azrael and learn dark magic from him.
So Orion's dad was a good guy.
Yes. Yeah.
He sounds like the sweetest guy. A sweetheart.
Yeah.
Now, do we think Stella is going to abandon Lionel?
That's a good
If
question.
she can?
That's a good question. She hasn't so far. He's treated her like shit, and yet she's still bowing to him. And
Not really, because in this one, he wanted some sex, and she was like, no.
I was proud of her for that.
well, do we think that, I mean, clearly Stella is feeling the losses that she's gotten. She's lost her husband. She's lost her daughter. Her son is now in danger. Do you think she'll change sides for her son? Even though this whole series, she's basically shown him no affection and really been an ass to him?
I think it's gonna be... You're gonna hate me for this. I think it's gonna be a Narcissa situation. She's gonna stay on Lionel's side, but when it's necessary, she's gonna do what she has to do to protect her son.
Yeah,
And
it's not.
maybe her son's friends and stuff.
I think that sounds right, because I don't think, even if she truly went good side, I don't think they would trust her enough to
Yeah.
use her for anything.
Yeah. Unless, oh my god, the fucking twist of a lifetime would be if she ends up with Washer.
Ooh! As like a punishment?
You know what I thought of the other day? You know what I realized? Washer was Orion's
Teacher.
year, right? Oh, it was his teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. I couldn't
He's an
remember. I
old
thought
fart.
that he was Orion's classmate. So for a minute, I was like, Washer is Orion's age? And then I went through this whole spiral of emotions. But okay, that makes more sense.
Nope. He was their teacher.
Okay.
Ew. All right.
Yeah.
So Tyler releases an article to the world announcing that not only is Catalina alive, but she's married to
Oof.
the royalist Hamish Gress. And
So
that
good.
she and her sons have released interviews about what it was really like to live with Lionel. Do you think this is actually going to affect his reign at all?
No.
No. It did make me happy how angry he was, though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was very that was a pleasant intro into the rest of the chapter.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not only does he get to read this article and be angry about that, the palace is still keeping him out, breaking his nose, rejecting him, and he comes to find Lavinia with his favorite person in the world murdered in her arms and half eaten.
Nice. Hey, you know what I thought about this chapter? I gave it 2 thumbs up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I feel like this is the very first time that Lionel actually has some feelings that aren't hate and anger.
Yeah, like fear.
Well, besides Fear. I meant he was really like, that was my favorite person.
Oh my gosh.
He was irreplaceable.
Dude, I was like, you only liked him because he was your servant. You didn't actually like him.
Oh, no.
But the scene in my head, seeing her hold him in the air and rip out his intestines and shit, I was like, damn, what the fuck?
Well, and his arms were off.
Also, why is she eating people?
Now that's a good question.
Why is she eating people?
Valid question, Brittany. I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's that part was kind of gross. But the arms off was kind of funny. I pictured her taking his arms and hitting him with it.
I feel like they put it in there from gross factor.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like when it comes to Lavinia in these chapters, I almost feel like it's for shock value. Yeah. The rape as well.
I felt like it was a present to the readers.
My God. It was not a present for me.
Lionel and Jenkins, it very much was like, okay, we've seen what they've done. Here you go. You've waited this long.
I mean, Jenkins is a little satisfying, but the rape of Lionel, I thought was... I don't know. Personally, even though he's a really shitty person and he also takes advantage of people, I did not enjoy reading it, nor did I revel in him getting what he deserved. I didn't like it.
I will say, Lavinia demands that they get wed, and afterwards, she does rape him because she's like, I'm going to give you an heir. And there's really no other way to describe what that scene was. And most writers don't put those kinds of scenes on the page. They will allude to it or imply something happened or even have the victim talk about it later, but they don't actually show us the scene. And I would have preferred that the writers give us the Lorcan treatment.
Yeah.
Or a closed door scene. Because it just made me want to gag. I
thought it was egregious.
Especially the birth scene. No.
The birth scene was 100% a direct replica, not completely, but the birth scene was 100% inspired by Melisandre's baby from Game of Thrones. There is no way they did not take that from Game of Thrones, because that shit was exactly like that horrifying scene in Game of Thrones. Stannis' baby with Melisandre. Ugh. Shadow baby, disgusting. Now, I decided to look up how other people felt about the rape scene on Reddit. And other people were saying that, the Reddit was actually like, is there sexual assault in the Zodiac Academy books? Because apparently other people had said that there was, and some people were arguing that there isn't. And I thought it was crazy for someone to not consider this at least sexual assault or rape. I thought that was wild.
I think maybe where they're getting that from is the fact that he wants to have sex with her. He's on his way to coming. And she kind of turns the tables on him with it. Yeah. But so he did want sex. It wasn't like she took something from him that he didn't want. It's just the way that she did it wasn't what he wanted.
If
did
you
not
say no in the middle.
It's
of
not
it,
full
it's
consent.
Rape.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but I'm assuming that's why people feel that way, is because he had consented to sex,
right?
But just not like what she did. But I did not, did I need the scene? Not necessarily, maybe, but I didn't have an issue with the scene in terms of, I'm not going to lie, I did have a little bit of the you deserve it kind of thing after he's done that for so long.
A little taste of his own medicine.
a little bit, a little bit. So I don't think I had quite the same reaction. But now some of that too could be because you warned me about it before. So it wasn't a surprise.
See, I was taken off guard by it, so I was like, I feel like I should give you a warning, because I was like, oh.
For me, while I don't condone rape in any way at all, I would have taken it much better if it had been not as directly on in my ear. Yeah. Not on the page, but...
Yeah.
If there was more alluding to, as opposed to actually detailing out how she's kind of horrifying him. I mean, for him to be like, no, please stop, literally stop touching me. I don't know. I guess
Well,
I
it's
didn't like it.
especially when, what is it, 1 in 3 women are raped, and women are probably the ones who are going to be reading this.
Yeah, which is why we did the
I,
trigger warning.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have read other books where women are raped in them, and I'm okay with it because it is not, I'm not in the victim's head as it's happening, where they're
Right.
sitting there saying, no, stop.
Right. Yeah.
And
I think that's the, and well, I think it's important for rape to be depicted in books. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it shouldn't be included. And I like that Lionel gets kind of what he deserves in a little bit, but it was abrupt and it took me off guard with everything else we've read in the series. You know what I mean? Everything is lighthearted, it's comedic, and it almost feels like this scene is supposed to be funny, sort of, because he's getting quote unquote what he
owned.
deserves. Yeah, and I don't think it's funny
I don't
personally,
think
but I get why people would have a reaction that would be like, oh, he deserved that. It's just a little icky for me.
Yeah. Like I said, I've read books where rape is depicted. It's just not as personal, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would love to hear readers' perspectives on it because I would like to know how other people perceived it as they were reading it.
The birth scene, though, I cannot get the image of that shadow baby
Crawling out. Oh, disgusting. You know
As
what?
if I
Maybe that
didn't-
deserves a trigger warning too.
Yeah, I was like, as if I didn't have enough reasons why I never want to have kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Body horror on another level, right?
Yeah. All right. So Gabriel has been testing the limits of Vard's sight, and as long as they don't plan something lethal, then Vard has difficulty predicting it. So Lionel's been getting some shit thrown in his face, so to say. Quite honestly, I'm surprised he hasn't taken his anger out on Vard for not stopping it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I guess Vard's like his only other trusted advisor, right?
Yeah. But I did love that you wrote in the notes, is Mattel gonna make a Pegasus sex doll?
I was like, to traumatize the world? Also, Mattel doesn't make sex dolls. Thank God.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, honest to God, like that would be the funniest merch to come out of these books. If they have merch, which I hope that they do because only the best book series do, if it were a Pegasus sex doll, that would be next level.
Yeah, but it needs to be Mattel. It has to be.
Why?
It has to be. Otherwise, it is just not funny.
Oh my gosh.
I love
Attachments for Barbie.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my God. I'm horrified.
love that Xavier was like, yeah, I got to give the extra glitter for that sex doll that slapped Lionel in the face.
That was nice.
It's like, good for you, Xavier. Good for you. All right, so Gabriel instructs everyone except for Geraldine, Darius, and Orion to make a plan to kill Vard so that he's distracted and locks himself in his room. And Lionel and Lavinia are going to be distracted by them attacking the Inquisition Center. And then Darius, Orion, and Geraldine are going to sneak into the palace to steal Vard's eye. And to Orion and Darius's dismay, he puts Geraldine in charge.
Which is iconic. They were like, why is she in charge?
Such a good choice.
Unpredictable.
Yep.
Oh my God, her brain. Yes.
And it was
Oh my
it was a
gosh.
very interesting journey there.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth, a lot of Darius being pissed off that they're not going straight there, which is literally the point of making Geraldine in charge.
I gotta say, I don't understand why any of them think that Darius has not done something that he knows he's gonna die, because he keeps saying goodbye to everybody.
Right? Could you be more obvious? Oh my God. Self-pitying
I think he
much?
wants somebody to figure it out.
He does. He wants someone to be like, "Are you okay, Darius?
Mm-hmm.
We're here for
Yes.
What's going on?
you.
Do we
I
need to
know
talk about this?"
you don't want us to know, but we all know, and we are all gonna focus on you because that's what you want.
Mm-hmm. He's terrible at keeping a secret.
Exactly, Tamlin. Oh, I mean Darius.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Okay. They also see this vision of what their lives would have been had Lionel not ruined it.
Yeah, this is interesting because it clearly shows that they were destined to be together. But I don't know. I think like Orion says, well, that's not us. It's great to see I don't know, what's
They're
it
different
called?
people. The
Yeah.
potential.
The potential.
Of what they could have been.
But it's like a life with rose-colored glasses. They still would have suffered things. It just wouldn't have been war.
No, I mean, I guess it was kind of sad, but at the same time, I was the same way. I felt like I wouldn't have wanted that path just because
Yeah.
I think they may have ended up together, but I don't think they would have been as happy. I think the circumstances that they all went through created the bonds they have now.
Yeah.
I will say this, since you put this stuff in the notes. This is the very first time that Darius does say or admit that Tori and Darcy might not be a bad choice for queens.
Yep.
Oh, is that where I put, yeah, you're killing me, Brittany, just give me this one.
Is there hope? I don't know. Maybe. Will he bow? Will he not? Who knows? Alright, so when they find Vard, he's in bed, and Gerry jumps on top of him and scoops the shit right out.
Dude, I'm scared of her.
She also shoves an eggplant in his mouth. Like, eat a dick, dude.
She was like, and a scoop. She didn't waste any time.
No, that one, as soon as that happened, I swear to God, I was like, oop, 31 flavors. This is like Baskin Robbins, or instead of Baskin Robbins, Baskin Robbins.
It's the craziest scene to envision in my brain.
What is with Geraldine and beating up people with vegetables?
That's a great question. I don't know.
And where does she get them? Does she grow
just
them in her
manifests them.
That's right. Eggplants are pretty fucking big. Where was she hiding that?
That's what I'm saying. Where was that going?
Huh?
Okay, question that is a little bit unrelated.
Okay.
So you know how I always say that I envision things in my head, like the scenes in my head? Do you guys have an internal monologue that you can see words when you talk and you can picture things, or do you not have that? Because apparently some people do not have that.
Yes.
I have an inner monologue, but as far as picturing things, I can only picture what I've seen in my life. I can't picture things that I've never seen.
So
Really?
when you picture things, do you see the full, like if you were to picture an apple, would it be a fully fledged image? Does it have shadows? Does it look like a picturesque apple, or is it just like the concept of an apple?
Honestly, I don't know. I just tried to picture it and I couldn't picture it. Very few pictures come in my head, and they're generally for book ideas, and generally I also have to kind of act them out with my body in order to see it in my head.
Okay, so you are one of those people that has a hard time seeing things in your head. Okay.
Yes.
See, I'm the opposite. I over picture.
More
with
pictures
books.
instead of words.
Yeah.
Mine comes up with a whole fucking new concept. Yes.
With books, sometimes I see the images in my head perfectly clear. Like that whole birthing scene. It's in my head, and I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because sometimes I can see so clearly imaginary things in my head, but some people can't, and I find that crazy.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts because I want to draw and stuff, but I can't draw anything that I've never seen. So
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Anyways.
No, I definitely do the same thing. I actually will start laughing sometimes because something happens and it triggers a whole scene in my head and it's really funny. And of course, nobody else sees it. And here I am just like laughing to myself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the boys get distracted carving Vard up and realize Gerry's gone missing. And they find out she's been captured by Shadow Baby.
Yeah.
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 And they get attacked by Lionel's new heir.
But it's not a shadow baby. It's like a shadow creature, like a shadow 8-legged
demon baby
monster.
thing.
Yeah, demon baby, Slender Man, horrifying,
with
cryptid,
the face of Darius and Xavier.
Eldritch horror. Yeah, it sounds horrifying. And what's confusing is they managed to kind of kill it. I don't know if it's dead. Is it really dead?
I think so because of the way Lavinia acts. I mean, she freaks out, so maybe she can feel the death and, have to have another baby.
I do think it's funny that after they kill it, they're all like, well, damn, I thought that would be harder. That was easy.
Yeah, right? I felt the same way. That's why I was like, there's no way it's dead.
Maybe the Shadow Baby was the alpha version and they're gonna upgrade it to a beta test.
I think it's the other way around. The Shadow Baby was the beta.
With software, alpha is the first and it's the not good one. Oh. And beta test is the one you want to actually go ahead with.
That's confusing for my brain because tell that to the red pill guys.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I saw a video of a guy who was like, to all you alpha men, me as a gamer, do you know what that means? It means you're broken, that you're a first version, and that you need to be fixed.
Oh my gosh. Which sounds pretty accurate for anyone who describes themselves as an alpha male.
Yeah, anyway.
Darius would describe himself as an alpha male.
Mm-hmm. And he needs to be fixed.
Yeah. He needs an upgrade.
But anyway, so do you think she'll make another one?
Mm-hmm. If it's dead, yeah, I do. I'm horrified at the thought of her having to rape him again.
Does she really need Lionel, though? Can't she just shoot one of those out?
Not for real. She didn't need him for that.
Because what's his semen really doing, honestly? Yeah. I mean, if we're really talking biology.
Gave him the face of Darius and Xavier.
Maybe he can spit on her or something.
There you go.
Do we really need the semen? Ew.
Yeah. What's it gonna swim up? She smoke.
Yeah. Oh my god. That.
Well, okay. So if she has another baby.
See the pictures. This is what I picture.
I just pictured the worst thing ever.
If she gets another baby, what do you think it will be like?
I assume it's gonna look like them.
Well, I meant like, is it going to have shadow powers like her? Is it going to be a dragon? Half fae, half nymph?
It'll be a Pegasus?
Shadow Pegasus?
Awesome!
That would be awesome.
Shadow Pegasus? Oh my god.
We would have to join the rebels.
Oh my god. That would be kind of iconic.
Oh my god. Yep.
I wouldn't even be mad at that.
Can you imagine the glitter? The shadow glitter. How awesome. That could be their mascot, and when they're coming in a war, it is at the very front, and it's just like, whoa.
Honestly, black glitter, I'm here for it.
There you go.
I'm here for it.
Onyx horn.
Yeah.
What is it that they said that they have to put the eye in? The night metal or something? Just have a horn of night metal.
That would be actually sick as fuck. As long as he's not, a shadow person. Because then I want him to have a personality. Can't be all looks.
All right, so let's talk about the attack on the Inquisition Center real quick as an action scene, and then we can talk about Seth and Caleb after.
Oh,
okay.
And they finally progress in their relationship. But anyway, what did y'all think about the attack scene?
I thought that this was a really interesting scene. I think that the more that we get, the more action scenes that we get, the better that they get at writing them. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Also, I could really imagine this one.
Seth doing his illusions and Washer and Max making everybody feel like they're going for freedom. And
Also, Xavier's gilded horn. I was like, that sounds badass.
his rainbow glitter.
Yes.
Oh, and Seth protecting the kids.
Oh, yeah.
I was
like,
emotional.
Okay. I knew
I was like,
liked
okay,
you.
you can have children. I won't be mad about it.
He would be such a hilarious dad.
Oh my God.
The craziest
poor
dad
children.
ever. Mm-hmm. Him and Caleb, I can see it like in my brain. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Posh Spice and her husband. It really fits because Posh Spice's husband is really down to earth. I think it would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boys or girls?
Both. Yes. He's got to have
There's
at least
going to
one
be
girl.
like one girl and the rest are boys.
Yeah.
How many are they having?
Lots.
They're going to have a pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and a couple. Oh, and the girl is a vampire, but the boys are werewolves.
Okay.
This is my fantasy world.
All right. Seth and Caleb do finally make progress in their relationship, and then the damn miscommunication trope rears its ugly head.
God damn it. I was reeling from the moment that Seth saves Caleb in the attack, and Caleb opens his eyes and he's like, I knew it would be you. Shut the fuck up. My heart was like shattering into happy pieces. And oh my God. And then Seth's little monologue at the end where he's like, Caleb would be my new moon, my unreachable love hanging over me in the sky. So dramatic, but also I was like, I can't handle this anymore. They're my favorite couple. And then and then they finally progress.
Not to mention, we didn't talk about it, but Caleb, before this, has a conversation with Max.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can see him finally owning his emotions a little. I mean, he's in denial, totally. But he's like,
yeah.
But I think about him a lot.
All the time.
And how does Max not get it?
No, for real.
Or he's like, it's a vampire
Yeah,
thing.
it's vampire
Really?
thing. I just think,
like I said, I'm starting to get frustrated with him.
yeah, I just think for him it's inconceivable that they would risk their seats to be together or to love each other.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think Max is like, they're bros. And Seth is just like hypersexual, and that's all it is. And I think it's sad to just reduce it down to that because it's so obvious.
Yeah, because Max should be able to feel it.
Yeah. And he's so good with emotions.
But can you tell the difference between romance love and love of your best friend or somebody?
He should be able to.
It would be crazy if he couldn't.
Yeah, with all the other talents he's got, siren power-wise, that should be easy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a cop-out to say that he doesn't know.
Seth tells Caleb that he loves him.
Dude, I lost it.
And then he was like, he loves me like an ally. That means friend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
And then when they get back from the battle, they, of course, all go get in the shower tub pool thing, and Caleb washes his hair.
Okay, it's such an intimate moment, too. Seth is obviously internally losing his mind, and Caleb is just enjoying touching him. And I'm like, I think they might be my favorite couple. This is so gentle. I don't know. I feel like with Darcy and Orion and Tori and Darius, all we got was like passionate, intense, crazy sex. But Seth and Caleb are like
taking care of each other,
gentle with each other. Yes,
slow
it's like
burn.
so sweet. Yes, I love a slow burn.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah. And can I just say, I am sick of Washer popping up from at the bottom of the pool.
For real.
Seriously, at this point, how do they not check?
And poor Xavier with his, I counted every single stone on that rainbow dick of yours.
I'm sorry, that's gotta be harassment.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yet people say there's no harassment in these books. How?
Oh, and I love that Geraldine walked in and she's like, oh, if I would have known there were all these sausages, I wouldn't have brought more.
You bring up a great point. Let me fucking talk about this for a minute. She brought hot dogs to celebrate?
Yeah, to a pool or a bath or whatever it is.
Listen,
why?
I know that they're writing what they think is America, but what the fuck? Like...
And Sausages are not hot dogs, right?
There can be. You can have hot dogs made of sausage, but yeah.
But it's not typical.
Yeah,
Not
it's not
typical.
the same thing.
No, it's usually chicken and turkey or beef.
But it's just funny because it's like you might as well have written them eating hamburgers or something. It's like, what the fuck?
Then she couldn't say, I brought more sausages.
Yeah, of course.
So after the bath scene, Caleb and Seth go back to his room when Caleb finally gives in to his feelings and kisses Seth, which then leads to Seth giving Caleb a BJ.
What did he call it in the next chapter?
I can't remember.
Something tongue twister or something. It's
I don't remember either. Yeah.
So I actually was really proud of Seth in this chapter because Caleb is getting really comfortable with him and being totally oblivious. And then Seth is like, I can't take this anymore. I need you to be upfront with me about how you're feeling or stop doing it. And I actually was very proud of Seth in that moment because what the fuck? How could Caleb be that handsy and comfortable with him and like not acknowledge that he has feelings?
Yeah. And unfortunately, this is where our miscommunication trope comes in. Caleb is feeling all kinds of what's the word?
Doubt? Self-doubt?
Doubt. Yeah, he doesn't think that
self-conscious.
Self-conscious. He doesn't think that he'll be able to provide as well as he was given because he's never done it before. And Seth has all this experience.
Insecurity.
Yeah. Well. It's definitely insecurity. But Seth has all this experience to compare it with, and so he is feeling insecure, and he is about to say something when Seth's just like, oh, I know what you're gonna say, we're out. I'm sorry. I just hear peace out, bud. I'm bringing back the peace sign. You're my peace buddy.
I forgot how silly that is. Yeah, it's really sad though because Seth is like, and you're so right. That was just because we're friends. Sorry. Peace out.
I'm gonna go give Darius one.
That's normal for me because I'm hypersexual. Obviously, we're just buddies. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and he goes back to his room with Orion and Darcy, sort of.
I should have known that they wouldn't give us a straightforward, happy ending there.
No, of course not. Yeah. But he goes and hides in his room, and Orion comes to check up on him. Y'all said y'all wanted some more Orion and Seth scenes, so here we go.
Besties. Although I feel like I think they're going to put Caleb and Seth together in the final scene where one of them, probably Caleb, is dying. And then they're going to finally profess their love for each other.
I hope not. What the fuck?
I know.
I don't want it to be...
That's what I feel like this is building to.
Like that. I feel like they are going to make up because they've gotten over the hump of Caleb recognizing he's into him. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it'll come together. I don't know. Don't say that. Oh,
I'm just worried about Caleb. I mean, I think I've said that the last couple books that I'm really afraid
you think he's going to die?
Going to end up dying. Yeah, I do.
I don't think he's going to die.
I think they've set up like this perfect character, and that he's, that they're going to kill him off.
Christy's like, what if they kill him? I love him too much. Your anxiety is speaking.
Uh-huh.
I think he's safe.
I've not Googled it.
I think he's safe because he's in the other series. He's in the other series, right? But that's before.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep.
I think he's not going to die, though.
Ruthless Boys does take place 5 years before Zodiac Academy.
Yeah. I was thinking it was later, but it's before. But I still don't think he's going to die.
I hope not. I really hope not.
I can't see any of the heirs dying, to be honest. Well, Darius will die, but he'll come back. But obviously, not permanently, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about the rules of hugging?
Safety 101.
It was so
Snuggle
silly.
safety.
The fact that Seth was like, he's trying to get comfortable and he was going around in a circle like a dog, and Ryan was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, checking for snakes. What the fuck? I was like, he's, I don't know, he's just the best character. And it's really sweet how Orion handled it, because Orion, as much as he wants to be a crotchety asshole, is just a good-hearted man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Seth calls him on it. He's like,
Yeah.
you heard me crying and you came to check up on me, didn't you? And Orion's like, nope, that's not what happened.
He's like, that's definitely not what happened. I just wandered past. It's cute.
All right, so what did you guys think of this section overall?
Honestly, really enjoyed it because it was less Tori and Darcy. It was such a variety. I loved it.
Me too.
I mean, I miss their characters and I want the story to progress, but I was enjoying seeing more of the other characters. Like, I was really enjoying that.
Yeah, I felt like we had more forward movement in the story this time.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times with Tori and Darcy, we kind of get bogged down.
In the sex.
Well, in the sex, in the thoughts, in the circumstance.
Yeah.
And we're not really actively progressing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with these chapters, we've done that.
Totally agree.
Any predictions or hopes for our next section?
I'm excited about that cowboy hat.
Oh, God.
I'm excited about the Pegasus Shadow Baby.
Oh, my God. Okay. I'm waiting for the cowboy hat. Oh my god.
Well, okay, so if that's the case, then my whole thing about him professing his love for Caleb when he's dying
that's what I'm
would
saying.
not be the case. I mean, unless he's dying in a cowboy hat naked, which would be kind of funny. But
well, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yay.
But
so they'll be together.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they're going to be together at least. Like there will be something happening. Brittany's laughing, so I swear to God, if we don't get the best Caleb and Seth sex scene, I am gonna be mad.
Wait a minute. Is this a cowboy hat scene with somebody else?
Oh,
who?
Brittany.
Justin Masters.
I can't say anything.
Oh my God. You know what would be really great? I don't know where this came from, but it's in my brain and you have to hear it now. If Seth took boudoir photos with the hat for Caleb
and sends him. Nice.
Or Brittany has brought this up once before. If Orion makes Caleb jealous with Seth, like Seth did with Orion.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
But can he do that if they're blood brothers now?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, obviously.
Just a little teasing. And he's helping him. He's helping him. It's the good thing to do.
You're right. And I agree. I think Orion's going to be their little matchmaker.
So as far as plot goes, anything that you are hoping to see?
I'm interested in seeing Tori and Darcy, like what they learned from Avalon. But I'm really hoping that we get more out of this book, like story progress wise. I do feel like this book is interesting because it's such a change from the last ones we've read in terms of environment and different things are happening, and it's not a focus on just the romance anymore, and I love that. But I'm wanting it to really go somewhere, so I'm waiting for that.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see is for them to push back against Avalon.
I think that's going to happen.
Either fight her or at least in a verbal way of telling her that they are going to rule differently and that they don't need her help. Because I feel like at this point, for the limited amount she acts like she knows, how is she going to be helpful at all?
Yeah. And then also, I'm interested in seeing what they do about the other gemstones that they have to find, because there can't be a Leon for every situation where he's just like, give me your prized baseball card and I'll give you this gem.
They have 5 more to find?
Yeah. So that needs to get started.
Yeah.
Anything you're hoping for less of?
Washer.
That's the first thing that came to my mind too. I don't know. I actually would really like to see. I would like to see Washer in a situation that's not what we've seen.
Pants on?
Well, yes. I would like to see. Well, like in the battle in this section with Max, he and Max were really useful for morale, and I think that's cool. So if he could be anything but pervy, that would be cool. But yeah, hopes and dreams. Okay. Well, we will end it there. We hope that you've enjoyed this show. Next episode, we will be discussing Book 7, Heartless Sky, chapters 41 through 51. New episodes drop every week.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.